She has a track record of being difficult to work with, well established before Justin Baldoni was ever in the picture.
Hollywood's golden couple, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, just pulled a move so bold that it left the entire industry shaking.
She has a very distinct working pattern. Primarily, people don't like to work with Blake Lively. I can also tell you personally, back when I was an intern at Glamour magazine.
In the middle of a messy legal war with Justin Baldoni, they waltzed onto Saturday Night Live's biggest stage, cracking jokes like nothing was wrong. But instead of charming their way out of trouble, they sparked a wildfire backlash, with A-list stars reportedly distancing themselves.
People just know this behind the scenes. You should just know that she is a bit of a brat, okay?
And then came Candace Owens, dropping bombshell accusations to turn the entire scandal on its head. With Baldoni firing back and exposing shocking new evidence, the question is, who's telling the truth?
So my source has told me that Lively's legal team is allegedly attempting to amend their filing and add Jenny Slate as a plaintiff to the lawsuit. But Jenny Slate allegedly does not want to be involved in this mess at all.
All of the drama surrounding It Ends With Us didn't start with the lawsuits, it started on set. From the beginning, reports surfaced about tension between director and co-star Justin Baldoni and lead actress Blake Lively. Insiders claimed that there were creative disagreements, power struggles, and behind-the-scenes conflicts that made the production difficult. What was supposed to be a romantic drama quickly turned into a real-life Hollywood feud, with whispers that Ryan Reynolds, Blake's husband, was more involved in the project than anybody expected. Some sources even suggested that he was rewriting lines and acting as an unofficial chaperone for Blake on set, making things even more complicated.
Lively accuses Baldoni of sexual harassment on the set of their film and a smear campaign against her. Mr. Baldoni denies those allegations, claiming the actress is attempting to damage his reputation.
The situation escalated in December 2024 when Blake Lively filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, accusing him of sexual harassment and defamation. Her claims sent shockwaves through the industry, painting a picture of a toxic work environment. At first, many people took her side, especially since Blake has spent years cultivating an image of the strong, graceful Hollywood sweetheart. However, things took a sharp turn when Justin Baldoni fired back in a big way. He filed a $400 million lawsuit against Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and their PR team, accusing them of launching a smear campaign against him. He alleged that Blake and Ryan had orchestrated a media attack to ruin his reputation and gain more control over the film's production.
We're noticing that Blake is not appearing alongside the lead character, Justin Baldoni, and also all these people have unfollowed him.
According to Owens, there's way more going on behind the scenes than most people realize. She claimed that Blake Lively, with the help of her close friend Taylor Swift, was not just defending herself in this legal battle, she was actively working to destroy Justin Baldoni's reputation. Owens suggested that this wasn't just a lawsuit, but a carefully planned media takedown, designed to paint Baldoni as the villain and keep Lively's public image intact. Owens pointed out that high-profile media outlets like the New York Times and TMZ seemed to be running stories that made Baldoni look guilty before any real evidence was even presented. According to her, this was no coincidence. She argued that Lively used her Hollywood connections, especially her friendship with Taylor Swift, to push the narrative in her favor. Swift, who has a long history of using her influence in the media, allegedly helped amplify the accusations, ensuring that Baldoni's name was dragged through the mud before he even had a chance to defend himself.
The initial suit filed by Blake Lively was against Baldoni, Wayfarer Productions, as well as a few other people alleging sexual harassment on the set.
The moment Blake Lively accused him of sexual harassment and filed her lawsuit, he knew he had to fight back. And he didn't just respond, he went on the offensive. Instead of quietly denying the allegations, he hit back with the massive $400 million lawsuit, not just against Blake, but also against her husband Ryan Reynolds and their publicist Leslie Sloan. His claim? Defamation and invasion of privacy. He accused them of running a calculated smear campaign to destroy his career and reputation.
Well, I can tell you that this is now the 5th lawsuit associated with Blake versus Baldoni, and we're exhausted by it. Now, based on Justin's recent release of documents, an expert I spoke to says Blake will fold.
What made Baldoni's counterattack even more intense was the amount of evidence his legal team brought to the table. His lawyers didn't just release statements, they went all in, releasing text messages, emails, and behind-the-scenes footage from It Ends With Us. They argued that these records completely contradicted Blake's accusations. Instead of the toxic, uncomfortable work environment she described, the messages and footage painted a different picture, one where she appeared engaged, collaborative, and at ease while working with Baldoni. His team wanted to prove that her lawsuit wasn't about justice, but rather about an elaborate PR move to gain sympathy and control the film's narrative. In the middle of the heated legal battle between his wife, Blake Lively, and Justin Baldoni, Ryan and Blake made a surprise appearance at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special. While the event was meant to be a celebration of SNL's history, their presence quickly became the center of controversy. During the show, Ryan made an offhanded remark that many believed was a reference to the ongoing lawsuit. His words seemed casual, but for those following the case, it was anything but harmless. For some, the joke was proof that Ryan and Blake weren't taking the allegations seriously. Here was a woman claiming that she'd suffered deeply from harassment and emotional distress, yet she and her husband were laughing and joking on national TV. To critics, it looked like a complete contradiction. If Blake was truly struggling as much as her lawsuit claimed, why was she making public appearances as if nothing was wrong? This only fueled arguments from Justin Baldoni's legal team, who pointed to the SNL appearance as evidence that Blake's claims were exaggerated or strategically timed.
And some old clips surfaced of her maybe not being so gracious in interviews. And people were saying, like, is the algorithm pushing this negative press of Lively?
Even within Hollywood, the reaction was mixed. Some of their fellow celebrities seemed uncomfortable with the way the couple handled things. According to reports, several A-listers at the event avoided interacting with them, as if they didn't want to be caught up in the controversy. The backlash wasn't just from the public, it was coming from the industry too. What was meant to be a lighthearted moment ended up becoming another misstep in an already messy situation, pushing more people to question Blake's case and Ryan's role in the whole ordeal. The public has been completely divided over the legal drama between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. On one side, some firmly stand with Blake, believing her allegations and viewing Baldoni as yet another powerful Hollywood figure trying to discredit a woman speaking out. These supporters argue that Blake wouldn't have risked her reputation with such serious claims if she didn't have real evidence. They also point out the emotional distress she says she's endured since filing the lawsuit, arguing that she has every reason to seek justice.
She said no, which makes everything that Ryan was saying, where is intimacy, corner, blah, blah, it just doesn't make any sense. So they felt they had to respond to the public learning about that.
And then there's the other side, the people who believe that Blake, along with their husband Ryan Reynolds and their PR team, orchestrated a calculated attack on Baldoni. For them, the release of Baldoni's counter evidence, including behind-the-scenes footage, text messages, and emails, paints a completely different picture. They argue that Blake seemed engaged and comfortable working with Baldoni, and that her legal action came suspiciously close to the release of the film, making it look more like a PR move than a genuine grievance. This group also points to the SNL appearance, saying it completely undermined the claims of emotional distress.
Right? Proximity to power does sometimes delude, and I think in this case it has. And they're going, okay, if I got to pick between Justin Baldoni and picking Blake Lively, who's friends with Taylor Swift, oh my gosh. And like Taylor Swift got me, if you're Isabella Ferrer, you're like, she got me this part.
The legal battle between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively is far from over. With both sides doubling down on their claims, the courtroom fight is only getting more intense. The case is set to go on trial in March 2026, and it's already shaping up to be one of Hollywood's most high-profile legal showdown. Lawyers from both camps have been firing off subpoenas, gathering evidence, and prepping arguments that could make or break their careers. Justin Baldoni has continued to push back against Blake's allegations, releasing text messages, emails, and behind-the-scenes footage that he believes proves his innocence. On the other hand, Blake's legal team is working to strengthen her case, claiming that the emotional distress and harassment claims are legitimate and backed by real evidence.